All right. Getting all set up and ready for this live broadcast. Jumping over to the charts. We're going to get started very shortly, and just cover everything that is going on with this crazy market today. So if we have someone that can verify that we have audio, please type it in the comments and then hit that like button for me and share so we can get as many people on this live stream as we can, because I'm going to be covering all of the top projects during this nasty market crash. Let's jump over to this chart here. All right, we're going to start out on the 4 hour. Let's get everything all set up here. Wow, look at that. Whew. Okay. All right, so we've got confirmation. Genuine. Did I say that right? So we have audio confirmed by Genuine, and we are going to go ahead and kick this off. So let's just say welcome everybody aboard. This is Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today there's blood in the streets. And we're going to look at everything on this market and just break it down and talk about it. And one thing I need to figure out is how to look at my chart here and break down this chart, and at the same time be able to check in on the comments, because I have not done this in such a long time that I don't know where to put this on the OBS, where you can have your comments that are popping up on the screen while I'm still breaking down the chart. So what I will do is go back and forth, where I will check out the live stream and come back here. And as we have people popping in and making requests, you can type your request for me to pull up a chart, and I'll pull up that chart and give you commentary. So to begin with, let's just talk about, well, what the heck is going on today that would cause this market to be shedding so much blood? And the interesting thing is that when we jump over to YouTube, we see all of these rather ridiculous titles. Let me do a refresh here and see if I can find some of them and sort this for cryptocurrency, because this just absolutely does not make any sense. Some of these titles that I'm seeing, which are obviously clickbait. Okay, well, at least Crypto Chris is being truthful and reporting about a crash. But look at this, crypto news alerts. 500,000 Bitcoin now on table by this date. Why are we streaming talking about that on a day like today? I don't know. There was another one on here that was talking about Bitcoin going to 2 million. Now, London Real is talking about the Bitcoin crash. That is good. We got urgent action being called for by Satoshi Stacker. Let's scroll on down. 1 million by... What in the world is Javinci Jeremy smoking? Why is he talking about $1 million Bitcoin? I don't know. That just doesn't make any sense to me. It makes no sense whatsoever. Gary Soloway is usually giving us the straight dope, and he was talking today about what's going on. Frankie Candles is talking about the dump. So we do have a mixed bag of people reporting about the dump and people jabbering about Bitcoin going to 2 million. All right, we are up to 4 concurrent viewers. Check in the comments section, and I will flip back and forth and announce who jumps in. And also hit that like button so more people can get a notification and know that we are here. And I want you to post your questions and also your requests as I get going. We got Big A in the house. I'll tell you what, he gave me a hand clap, so I'm going to do the same for you. So Big A is in the house. Thank you, Big A, for joining us. We've got Bruin 88. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Carlton Flowers, the Crypto Pro, is right here with you.
Yay!
And we are going to break it all down.
Woo!
And it's going to be a time. Okay, so anyway, thank you for jumping in, Bruin 88. I'm doing this soundboard the old-fashioned way. I'm just clicking on my MP3s. I need to download a soundboard. All right, I'm going to jump back over to the chart so you guys can get what you came here for. Starting out with the Bitcoin chart, and boy, oh boy, look at this action. Current price of 26,627, and we did wick all the way down to 25,227. That's ugly. The only good thing on this 4-hour chart is the fact that we are at the bottom of the stochastic cycle. We started to come up, crossed over bearish, and now it looks like it's crossing again, but there's no guarantee that we're going to make it back up to the black dashed line, which is a significant line. Let me put this on the one-day view so we can make sense of this. All right, so here we are at the VPVRPOS price of 28,015, looming way above the current price of 26,600 as we speak. This is the volume profile visible range. So from the time we are speaking now, backing up to Monday, February the 20th, this shows the volume at every price. And so the fattest volume of trading comes at the point of control, POC, not POS, the POC price of 28,000. The black dash line comes at this volume node at 28,820. That is an important line. Now, one thing that we notice on this one-day chart that I need to bring to your attention with the aid of my art, let me bring up my art program real quick, and I'm going to use the screen capture just to draw on the screen, so bear with me while that loads, and let's just do a full screen screenshot so we can get the tools up here and draw. Now, here's what you need to pay attention to. Right there, we have violated the 200 EMA line. We have failed the 50 EMA line. This dump started after the side banding right there on the 50 EMA line. We violated the black dash line, and that's significant because when we dip below that black dash line, there's more bearish action to come. We're also pardon me, we're also below the point of control price, 28,200, and this one-day candle just ran straight through it. Now, it could recover and come back up, but for right now, it's not looking like it's going to, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is because this stochastic is looking like the fast line, which is the blue line, is diverging away from, it's divergent from the slow line, which is this orange line, and we're headed down pointing towards oversold territory. Furthermore, we have a very ugly crossover of the oscillators on the MACD combined with this big fat red bar on the histogram. Notice how the slow line right here is kind of hanging in there, slowly moving over, and the fast line has taken a 90-degree turn south. That's a sharp move. That's indicative of a nasty dump. Notice that whenever we hit the bottom of these other stochastic cycles, like right here, we didn't have a major crash. We rebounded. At this stochastic bottom here, we didn't have a major crash. We stayed above the 200 EMA and moved back to the 50 EMA. Notice at the next bottom, we touched the 200 EMA, but then we ran straight on up and went straight through the 50 EMA. At the next stochastic bottom, we side banded from here to here. We didn't do anything but sideband, really, kind of a bearish sideband, to the point at which we decided to take that right-hand turn and dump. At the moment, it looks like we are headed further south. Now, before I jump over to the 1 week chart, I'm going to get back over here to the live stream and see if we have some comments and welcome any new participants into the broadcast. All right. So Bruin88 is still here. We've got 8 concurrent viewers. Now, viewers, if you're here, check in, man. Post a comment. I want to hear it. If you post a comment, I will greet you with a round of applause. All right, there we go. We got Shawnee Pootube. What is up, Shawnee Pootube? Welcome to the live broadcast. I'm glad to have you here, and thanks for checking in with us. You get a round of applause. Oh, man. All right. And the other viewers who have not checked in yet, go ahead and check in. Pop that like button. We got 4 likes, and there's 8 people watching, so we need 4 more. Because the more that hit the like button, the more I am going to do TA and take your questions. All right, now I'm going to jump back to the chart. I'll come back to check in to make sure. You are very welcome, Shawnee Pootube. Glad to have you here, my friend. All right, back on to the chart. That's not the chart. There is the chart. We're going to look at the 1 week. So let's just scrunch this down a little bit and see where we are in the 1 week. And this is not looking good. I was telling y'all in the last couple of updates that I was not very confident about the positioning of Bitcoin on the stochastic cycle of the 1 week chart. And that it looked like we're at the top end of the final correction. You know that song, The Final Countdown? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. You know that song. So this is the final countdown. Now, on this 1 week chart, let me tell you what I see and draw on this screen a little bit. First of all, we have the nasty dump. And it did violate the 50 EMA line right there. I need an arrow. Let's get an arrow here. There's the 50 EMA. We wicked down to the 200 EMA. Actually, we went below it just a little bit. So the only good news on this chart is the fact that we bounced off of the 200 EMA. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen next is, and this is just my opinion, not financial advice. You know the drill. Now that we have touched down on that 200 EMA, right? When it comes back up, there's a possibility that we're going to bump our head on that 50 EMA. If there is a rejection on that 50 EMA, we're going to come back down and we're going to violate the blue line, the 200 EMA. If we violate the 200 EMA, the next thing you need to watch for is the purple dashed line. And as you can see on the VPVR, our strong nodes over here are above the black dash line at roughly 29,000. And then we got the big fat one. You guys know what this one is down here. Let me see if I can get my, I won't say what it is just yet. But if we fail the 200 EMA line, this blue line here, we're going to be sailing towards the purple dash line where we don't have a big enough volume node to catch it. And if momentum is strong, we're going to sail straight through that, okay? And then I'm going to be looking for a completion of the final correction. Now, let's look at the stochastic. This is ugly, all right? I'll tell you why it's ugly. When you look at the previous stochastic peaks, we had market cycle top. Here was the first one. There was the second double top right here and here. And actually, I'm going to have to scrunch this down so we can fit it in there so we can see those double tops. All right, now let's draw on it again. So looking at the stochastic, what do we see? Here's the double top. Top 1, stochastic peak. Top 2, stochastic peak. And that was it. The next top cycle was right here. Now, what do you notice here? What happened? Let's put some numbers on the screen. We had, here's our high, all-time high. And then we broke that all-time high. And then what did we get? A lower high at number 3. Now, what do you notice happened at this next stochastic peak? Lower high. That's right. Boom. Now, you can say, hey, well, Carlton, there's some higher highs there. What about those? Well, this higher high, this little stair stepping up right here and right here is meaningless. And that is because it did not break the previous of the descending highs, okay? Let's just put a rectangle around there. It looks like there's resistance here. So in order to say that we were in the bull market, we needed to take out number 3 and take out number 2. But we are not even close to taking out number 3. And at the same time, the stochastic is pointing us downward. So when you look at these 2 peak stochastic events here, and what do they coincide with? This point here, and then this arrow right here. Not monumental. So we're getting a declining return on our stochastic investment, so to say. And this is a nasty stochastic because the fast line is dropping at a steeper angle now, and it's diverging away from the slow line, the orange line. Now let's go downstairs. What do we see on the MACD? The same thing. We had a bearish crossover, but then we had a recovery. But on that recovery, we did not move up much in price. It was just side banding. Now we have another bearish crossover right there. Orange line, slow line is on top of blue line. Blue line is moving at a steeper angle downward than orange line. In other words, it is diverging. We have a divergence there. We are also printing a big fat nasty red candle or red bar that I like to call it on the histogram. So this is bearish indication number 1, lower high. Bearish indication number 2, diminishing returns on the stochastic with the big nasty divergence here after the bearish crossover. And bearish indication number 3, bearish crossover of the MACD oscillators combined with the candle or the histogram bar being solid red and deepening. Now, let me show you something else here. Let's scrunch this down on the MACD. You're going to notice something, that after we had the big market run, here's the peak right here. We should have known here that this was the end of the real market run. Why? Because the next peak that took out this one here, when we got that double peak there, look at the positioning. This was the major wave that was fired right there. And notice how each wave after that is smaller. So this one is smaller. Then we went way south right here, market cycle bottom. But now look at this next one and this next one. They're smaller yet. So I am not going to be calling for a bull market until we get another wave fired off that takes this last one out right here. And when we have a bull run, it's going to look like this, where you got nothing but successive green candles going vertical. And this doesn't look like the point that we're going to get that to happen. Okay? Now, let's turn this off and let's jump back and see what is happening in the room and answer questions. We have 9 concurrent viewers. We have 7 likes. Good job. 2 more likes. You new people who are here. And let's see who we have. We have Muhammad Y. I will look at FET. Muhammad Y, thank you for joining us. And also Alfredo Rodriguez. ¿Qué pasa? Alfredo Rodriguez. Hello there. Can anyone see? What is that pointing? What is what pointing? Let me know what you're talking about there, and I'll answer that question, Alfredo. But thank you for joining us, Alfredo. Round of applause for you, too. Okay, so I'll jump back over to the chart, and I am going to pull up FET and draw all over the screen. And fetch.ai, I assume, is what you're talking about. And I'm a fan of FET. I think I had held FET way back in the old days, man, back when it was like, what, 5 cents? And I sold it too early, but I'm kind of looking at it again now. I'm going to go backwards. Let me just go to the 1 week chart first so I can see what's been happening since when and give you a really big picture. Ew. Okay, so this 1 week chart, It does appear that it mirrors Bitcoin. The only not so good thing is like where our data enters here, our market cycle double peak here is not much greater than where we entered after this long, bearish correction. But it did have a monumental bull run here and then went straight into distribution after this point. And then, okay, so we had this big peak here. So let's put some dots on the screen. We had the market cycle top that was very similar to Bitcoin. So for your first all-time high, and then you had a double top, and then your all-time high right there. And then after this occurred, your next stochastic somewhat peak, which is not really a peak, lower high at number 4. And then definitely a confirmation of a downtrend where you're way up here and overbought. And this is much lower. We're not taking out those previous points. We kind of matched it right here, but didn't quite get it. So this is still a lower high. Number 5 is below number 4. But then the good thing is when you went and jumped all the way down into the oversold zone below the 20 line, we leveled off at a higher low. So look at this consolidation action, and it's kind of holding. It does look like you got an impending cross right here. This could curl over and kind of jump back down here. It's too early to tell. But then the good thing is you've got your full wave that's happened here, where you got this big cluster of green, big cluster of red. So the red could complete and we could start doing this. But then it also could do what we saw previously here, where you touched the 0 line and then you went ahead and did the bearish thing and stayed under the 0 line for a second dip. So I'm thinking you're probably going to get a second dip because of the positioning of the oscillators. So with the oscillators, we notice that boom, peak, boom, double top. And then here's the last one. So we're coming down. So we need to complete this. The fast line is underneath the slow line. So this is probably going to continue coming down. And then we'll have the push into the bull run. So right now, this price, this is a good place, 19 cents. I wish it would have corrected back down to 5. I would have jumped back in on this again had it done that. But let's look at the 1 day chart and then kind of see what it's looking like from this standpoint right now. Consolidating still, not taking a hit. So it's looking pretty strong. You got all of the full cycles going on with the stochastic. And we're just staying in this side banding zone here. That was supposed to be a rectangular box. So here, it's kind of staying in this zone here, and it doesn't look like it's wanting to fill that. We got an impending cross, a bullish cross happening right here, but it's probably just going to stay in this zone and bounce around. So FET's looking healthy. It's looking pretty decent. Now let's jump back over to the chat room. Yes. All right. So we are done with that. We got Jeff in the house. What is up, Jeff? Thank you for popping in. That round of applause is for you, Jeff. Okay, we got another question there. Or Alfredo says, thanks. In some charts, the pointer of the mouse didn't appear. Oh, yeah, I was commenting on the graphs. Yeah, where I had the drawing. Let me know if you could see the drawing on the screen. Like when I do this, are you seeing this big red square that I just drew on the screen? So if you can see me drawing, type yes in the chat. And let me know. Hopefully that does come up on the screen capture. So we got 10 concurrent viewers. We got 10 likes. Good job. Round of applause for you people. No, dang it. It's not showing. Oh, man. Well, why doesn't it capture that? That is strange. I'm going to have to find a different drawing program. I'm glad you told me that because I got like all of these arrows that I'm drawing on the screen and putting boxes and y'all ain't seeing none of that and not even seeing a cursor. Can you see my mouse? Let me know if you can see my mouse cursor. Let me clear this out and go back to the chart. So I'm circling my mouse. I can use the trading view drawing tool and just erase it after I'm done. So if you can see the mouse here, there's a crosshair. Maybe I'll just use that crosshair from here on out until I figure out what the best way is that I can draw on the screen. So you can't even see the crosshair. That is so weird. Well, no, I see it on my I see a plus, like a plus sign. Okay, so the circling is okay. You could see that, but you can't see when I'm drawing on the screen. Let me know one more time. Like here's the graph right here. And if I pull up my drawing software, let's do a screenshot full screen drawing mode on and get a big box. So if I do this great big red box, let me jump back and see if it shows up on my screen. No, it does not. It does not show up. That's really odd. Okay, so no drawing. I'll just keep it without using, I will not use that. Okay, well, let's keep in 1 day mode, and I'm going to just run down some of my favorites. First of all, we're going to look at the DJI, Dow Jones Industrial, and check out the Dow Jones with a big fat red candle right here. And as we can see, we have failed this 50 EMA line. And this is one nasty stochastic that looks like we're not at a bottom yet. The blue line is nearly touching the 0 line. And I'll bet you we're going to try to come back up to the 50 EMA, hit it as resistance, and continue going down until we get to the blue 200 EMA, which I'm going to bet you it's going to fail. Now let's look at the 1 week on the DJI. It's not looking good, guys, because at the 1 week point, we're coming out of overbought, and we got plenty of room down to go for a nice crash. And so if we do come off of that, I'm telling you what, there's a good chance that we're going to find this 200 EMA line and maybe come down to about 31,621 or worse. And so our previous low was at 28,731. It is possible that we could hit that as a bottom before we move back up, because previously that level was somewhat of a top right here. It was resistance, then it became support as we gapped up on Monday, November 16th of 2020, and then we come back down. It's support, we're moving up, and the next time it's either going to be support or resistance. So we'll have to wait and see on that. All right, let's move straight to the SPY. Looking nasty, just like the DJI. Stochastic has a little bit ways to go before we rock bottom out. And like I said on the other, we might correct and go back to the 50 and then keep going down. It's important to watch the DJI, SPY, the QQQ, because the institutional investors bailing over there, sometimes, a lot of times, it's going to affect what is happening in crypto. So on the 1 week chart with the SPY, we are also looking nasty because we're just ready to break the overbought zone, cross the 80 line, and come down into the middle territory. And my guess is that we're going to touch down on this 200 EMA, maybe down here at 383, or test this previous support at 357. So look out for that. Now, DXY, so important to follow what's happening on DXY. We have been sidebanding for quite some time. We're above the 200 EMA line and bouncing around between the 200 and the 50. But the stochastic is showing where we're buried out, well, not buried out, but flattened out in the overbought zone. And so the dollar is strong for now, but it's going to run into a full cycle. And what could happen if this does take us all the way down here to the bottom, when we hit the bottom of the cycle, if we find support at the 50 EMA, that's going to spell disaster for Bitcoin. Now, looking at the 1 week with the DXY, this is looking bullish. Okay, so what's looking like here we have these three peaks and lower highs. If we make it through this point here and continue up, it could be a continuation of this run that we had leading up to October of 2022 when Bitcoin was taking a beating. And so whenever this happens, we might cycle down one more time and find the 200 EMA, and Bitcoin, I did say Bitcoin, didn't I? Might find a mini rally there. But then once this DXY sets off again, we're going to find the true bottom on Bitcoin. Okay, XRP is coming up, ETH, Litecoin, and Matic, and AGIX. But let me check the live stream. And we've got a few more comments. Thanks. Now I can follow. By the way, great VV content. I'm going to have some VV for you coming up soon. I have not updated you. I've been making some moves. I am still rock solid, sitting on, 1,900 NFTs and comics. And so you're going to have some VV info coming at you. I promise you. I will make that happen. All right. So we have 9 concurrent viewers. We have 11 likes. That's great. Share the stream. Share it with a friend. Tell somebody else that we are live and I'm breaking down these charts. I'm going to run through a few of the favorites and give you the TA rundown. And then we'll answer some more questions. So looking at XRP, I wasn't really that excited about XRP after the lawsuit, and I'm still not. I don't trust it. And we can see on this chart that the run up after this long consolidation move that happened at around 47 cents, we went vertical based on the news of the court case. And now we're giving all that back. We have not only failed the 50 EMA, we have failed the 200 EMA. It does look bullish here with a small crossover, but the MACD and the histogram is saying, no, you got further downward action coming, and we might be headed towards the point of control price of 40 cents, 39 cents. Looking at the 1 week for this same coin, it's very bearish, and we're talking MACD and also the stochastic. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't jump down to the red dash line at 30 cents on XRP. Now's not the time, guys. It's not, I don't know. You can buy XRP. I'm not. Now's not the time to get rich on XRP. I don't see it. Ethereum has taken a beating. It had its good little plunge below the 50 and below the 200 EMA line. But there is a bullish crossover that is trying to happen, which may unfurl and continue on until we get to the oversold territory. Why? Because this blue line down here in the oscillator section of the MACD is very divergent from the slow line, the orange line, and we have 2 big fat bars on the histogram. So it says downward momentum is strong. Pop this up to 1 week and now we can really see it. That's nasty, guys. That's very nasty. So all-time high, double top, lower high, bouncing around, consolidation, and now here comes a plunge here. We're hanging on this cliff. We already wicked below the 200 EMA. That's ugly. Look for the red dash line and pray that that is the support at 1230, because this is a nasty crossover, and if this downward momentum continues, then we might take a trip down here to oversold. And it looks like the oscillators on the MACD are saying we need to go downstairs below the 0 line. So watch out for bargains on Ethereum. Litecoin, which in my opinion usually will lead the market. That's why I like watching Litecoin. I was going to get back into Litecoin, and now I'm not, because I found a new coin that is so much more significant than Litecoin, and I'll tell you about it in a minute because it's on the list of things that I'm going to give you TA on. At any rate, on the 1 day, Litecoin doing the exact same thing that Bitcoin is doing. It's front running everybody else. There's a bullish cross here. You might have a little hump happening, but the downward momentum is strong. And down here on this MACD, we're below the 0 line on the histogram, and there's that divergence of the slower oscillators downstairs on this MACD. So I'll pop this out to a week and let's see what it's looking like. It's ugly. You got all of these peaks that's bouncing around from this consolidation, and then we broke to the downside. So it's headed for the purple dashed line, and you have the red dashed line that is down beneath it at 42 bucks. If that happens, I might buy 1 or 2 Litecoin just for the fun of it. But this is looking bad. Divergence on the oscillators. We have red bars printed on the histogram, and these oscillators are about to go below the 0 line. And we're about to get our fast stochastic line to break the 20 line and bring us into the oversold zone. So I'm looking for cheaper Litecoin. All right, moving right along. Matic, man, oh man. Who would have thunk that as we were looking at Matic breaking $1.30, that would be back down to 57 cents? Certainly not all the big mouths on YouTube who have been calling for a bull market since what, last April? Every month. Every month, month after month, Bitcoin's going to 1 million, 500,000, Matic's going to $5. This is the start of the bull market. And I kept thinking to myself, you guys are calling this way too early because we could have a black swan event, which I don't even think we can call this a black swan event. If we had a black swan event, we could get a double bottom on Bitcoin heading back down to 15,000. This ain't a black swan. And so why are we seeing all this red? When we have so many people shooting off at the mouth talking about we're in a bull run. I don't know. That's just crazy, guys. Totally crazy. Stochastic could cross over here. We could have a little bounce, little recovery, but we're below the 50. We're below the 200 EMA, and this is a bearish trend because the 50 is now below. This is a death cross right here. You got the 50 coming below the 200 EMA. It's already flipped. On the other ones, you got 50 above the 200 EMA on ETH. That's healthy. But if this thing keeps going down and you get a death cross, we're going to head towards that red dash line. Litecoin is death cross. I didn't even mention that. So we already have a death cross on the 1 day with Litecoin. The 50 EMA has violated the blue line. All right. And looking at Bitcoin, 50 is still way above the 200, so it's a lot healthier. 50 is way above the 200 on XRP. So let's move on to or did I show you the 1 week? Yeah, I did. No, okay. 1 week on Matic. Fat, nasty red candle with downward momentum, and we have just crossed over on the stochastic where it looks like it's wanting to head further south. Look at this histogram. Okay, so we were rounding off to the bottom, coming back to the zero line, and now it's turning around again, and you see what the blue line is doing. It said, I want to come up and cross over the orange. Nope. Let's head back south again. That's bearish. And so we can probably say that, you know, there's a chance Matic might jump down here to the red dash line, 43 cents or worse. Okay, let's check in real quick before I hit the next one, which is going to be AGIX. All right, we got 11 concurrent viewers and 13 likes. That's outstanding. Good job, guys. You get a big, fat round of applause for that. All right, so I'm going to move right on to AGIX and keep plowing forward. You can ask your questions while I am doing this, but let's jump back to the chart and hit AGIX at 17.5 cents. And I've got a Fibonacci retracement up here because it seems to be really liking this Fib retracement, and I'm looking for a move of AGIX to come back and at least test the 50 line. That's why I have it up here. And so that's like 6.8 cents. I'm aping in. I've got a small bag of this that I bought way above 20 cents like a dummy. But I'm going to get a lot more of it if we do the golden retrace. If we can come down to that 50 line. Not looking too bad, but we're below the black dash line, which is a significant line. Because notice here, we came up, we bounced down, we had resistance, came down, and then support. So all of this stayed above the black dash line, and now we bounced on it, stayed above it, now we violated it. So this could become resistance, and when this completes, this crossover, we come back up, bounce our head on it, and keep going south. The 1 week, we have a death cross here too. There's a death cross. 50 EMA is below the 200 on my chart. This is an ugly chart. This is an ugly chart. Crossover here. Stochastic is wanting to come back down to oversold. Histogram is ready to continue to go south. It was headed back to the zero line, and now we have a solid red bar. So if the stochastic, which fronts run these oscillators, continues to go down, then this is going to continue to go downward here. We're going to have a reverse double hump. And then looking at these retracements, there's the 618. Is it about, 8 cents? And then we got the 50 down here at my 6 cents level, 6.9 cents. But honestly, we could get back to this little consolidation zone right here as a support. I think anything from 5 cents to 8 cents is possible now that we have violated the black dash line. Yes, can I get an amen? Now let's move to Solana. All right, it's going to be so long Solana, because I don't think it's going to hold now that we look like we have barely. Well, we were already bearish. We had a death cross on it way back here. You know, orange line was struggling to get back up here and make a golden cross, but it's probably going to give out. We're bearish on the stochastic. We could get a slight recovery, but we are below the 200 and the 50. We are just above the point of control price, which is $20.76. But then when you jump to the 1 week, there's nothing holding this up. We're headed towards the black dash line right there, okay? Stochastic has plenty of ways to go. I should have bought, you know, during the crash. I don't know why I didn't do that. Man, oh man. In 2021, when Solana was $1, and then we had the slam bank run fraud drop, which took us to $9, $8. I should have bought there. I had some Solana. I even bought during this consolidation here before this massive bull flag broke out, and then I sold up here. I only had one or two, but anyway, it's coming down. It's hanging on a thin thread, and if it falls off this cliff and this completes, then look out below, because there's nothing to support this until you get down to $4.28. All right, now let's get to the good one. Here we go. This is the biggie. And this is going to be the coin that wipes away my tears from the time that I knew about Bitcoin when it was $1 and did not buy. And then when I came back into being interested in crypto in 2017, Bitcoin was at $6,000. I hate thinking about that, but there is a project that I have bought into that might wipe away all of my tears. And that project is none other than the block DAG Kaspa. Yeah, this is it, guys. This is the big one. And first of all, this is the most beautiful chart of anything I'm following. Okay? And I've been following Kaspa and reporting on it since before it became popular. Now we got BitBoy talking about Kaspa, and he was buying, he sold 4 Bitcoin on a live stream buying Kaspa. I was talking about Kaspa before it was even on TradingView. See these points here? I had to plot all that, because that's where Kaspa was before it was on here, okay? So I plotted all this data because I bought in the first time, good Lord, I don't even remember. I think it was right here. It was 0.0015. And then I sold. Then I bought back in, got 60,000 or something there. Then I sold up here. Then I bought and sold. And then I was like, I got to stop playing around with this because this is significant. And at the time, I was chatting with Jonathan Sompolinski, and I was trying to figure out if this was a legit project because Ryan Matta put a hit piece out on this, which I'm disappointed with because I used to love his videos, and he made a really bad call on Kaspa at the time, and then he turned on KDA and started reporting negatively about KDA. And so at that time, I ran into a couple of people. Shai was one, and then we have Jonathan Sompolinski, which I tried to get to come on the channel, but I'm not big enough, and he wasn't interested. But he did have his friend that came on and has been chatting with me and keeping me posted and updated in the Telegram. And I'm thankful for having him pop in every now and then. Let me see if I can find him. Shout out to Val over in Russia. Val is my Kaspa buddy. He's holding $1 million. He had buku Kaspa and he sold it, but then he bought back in. I only have 100,000, and here's all of Val's notes. He was going bananas. This is his regret from selling so much, but he's still a Kaspa shark. He's got $1 million of it, so he's holding on to that. Here's Aviad right here. Aviad is a programmer. He is working with the Kaspa project, and Aviad has been fantastic with me. I've talked to him live on Telegram, and he comes into the group and discusses the project with me, answers questions, and keeps us updated. Shout out to Aviad. I'm so glad to have you around. And shout out to Jonathan Sompolinski, maybe when y'all share this enough, we can go back and say, hey, Jonathan, you got to come on the channel now, man, because the Crypto Pro crew is legit. We're not little bitty no mo. We might just be sitting at 7,800 right now, but once we hit, say, 50,000, we're going to come back and say, Jonathan, you're going to have to come talk. So, but I am thankful that he at least entertained discussions with me directly in the Telegram group. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that. And Shai, we're going to have Shai come on. I can't remember how to pronounce Shai's last name, but he is also a programmer and works on the Casper project. All right, let me check back in here before I continue on why this is the most beautiful chart I've ever seen. We have 6 concurrent viewers. Butte Andy, what is up, Butte Andy? Glad to have you here. Yes, sir. All right, round of applause for Butte Andy. The Casper chart is beautiful and is one of the strongest charts of all of my holdings. So after all of this buying and selling, I finally said, okay, no more playing around. And I bought 100,000. I ended up with 100,750. And I said, no more goofing off. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I spent like $400 after buying and selling and swing trading it. So I think my DCA price is for 0.004. So I'm already at, I was at a 10x when it was above 4 cents, but I'm doing fine. All right. So anyway, we've got this bullish run here. We come back down. It bounces on the 200. It moves up back above the 50. And now we're sitting at the 50. Stochastic says that we can still go lower. I was saying on the last video that we might go down here to zone 2 at 2.8 cents as support, or worst case scenario, the 200 EMA line. And I think that's going to be all we're going to get. I don't think it's going to go much lower than 2.3? Yeah, 2.3, 2.4 cents. And this is going to cycle back up because we've already got this deep crossover here of the oscillators on the MACD. And then the next cycle up, it's going to continue just building up. And looking at the 1 week, the only thing is we got to see what happens at the dip of the stochastic cycle on this 1 week. Hopefully it'll be like this, because here's peak number 1, all-time high, full correction, stochastic bottom, and we ended up in zone 4 at 1.5 cent support. And then we hit all-time high right here, crossover. So on our next trip down, I'm thinking it's either going to be zone 2 here or zone 3 here, and then continue moving up. So this is a very healthy chart, and it might afford us the opportunity of piling up some more Caspa. Okay. Hey, concurrent viewers, if you are new or just coming back in, check in. Don't forget, ask your questions now. I'm only going to be on for another 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm going to beat feet because I got to get down to my body shop. I got some custom custom paint jobs that I'm working on with some cars, and got to get some work done. So we're going to jump back here. I called up reserves. I heard that. I'm going to call up everything I have. If we get a dip to 2.3 cents, I'm going to get as much more Caspa that I can. Caspa being a block DAG, Ghost DAG protocol, being proof of work, being super fast, faster and more dependable than Solana, more trustworthy than Solana, being crowdsource funded, being a project that is scalable. It's solved the Bitcoin trilemma better than Caspa did, better than KDA, Kadena. It has done a better job of absolutely solving the blockchain trilemma, and it is so scalable. It is so fast, and we don't even have smart contracts yet, so it's a complete upside. So I'm seeing this as the new silver to Bitcoin's gold. I was telling you before that I was bullish on Litecoin being the one alternative. Well, no, now it's Caspa. I don't really have a need to pile up Litecoin being the silver to Bitcoin. It's Caspa, rock solid Caspa. All right, moving on to the next one, and this is going to be one that I've got my sights set on. It is Teraxa, I think. Yeah, Teraxa coin. Now, this one is also a block DAG, but it's proof of stake. So it's kind of like the Ethereum to Caspa, okay? And it had this massive vertical move here. and I don't ever buy into runs. I learned of it after it was above this point here, and it just peaked and was coming down. This is going to correct hard. The reason is when you look at the 1 week, look at this. Okay, I'm going to scrunch this down. You got a crossover right there. All right. This is going to come down to this point where we had the previous all-time high. We're going to be looking at a correction down to 2.0025, possibly. That's steep. Or it could go as low as 0.0017. All right. Best case scenario is when you look at the day chart, since we had this little dip to the hump right here and made this support resistance zone. If we do not violate that, we could come down here to this 200 EMA, which should be at the bottom of this channel by the time it gets there. And that would be at, oh, that's the same price, 0.0015. Okay, yeah. So best case scenario is bouncing off of the top of this first channel where you had this previous little tick move here. See that red candle in there? That makes a zone. So it could bounce at 0.004, but I'm probably going to start to DCA at 0.004 and ride it down from that point and just pile it up. Okay, let's check in for questions and comments. All right, we have a new visitor in the house. It is Uno Sean. Glad to have you, Uno Sean. Welcome to the Crypto Pro live stream. We haven't done this for a long time. The Telegram group coming in, I hope, yeah, get on in there, Andy. All right, so Uno Sean says, I got a question before I go, since I just found out that I own a body shop. I have a 370Z Nissan. Sweet! 50-year anniversary, so the paint is special. I want to get a paint correction. Anything I should ask for? Yeah, go to the detail shops. The detail shops that do paint correction are the best at that. Body shops are not. I happen to be a body shop, but I know how to do true paint correction. But on that vehicle, if you've got a different kind of clear coat, they're going to have to be careful. Now, what I would do, if you really want to do it right, have them scuff it and shoot another layer clear on it and not try to do a paint correction on the clear. My brother had a 280ZX. Now, did you mean 270Z? Because the 280Z, no, he had a 280Z, and that was 1977, I believe, or 76. And so then the 280ZX came out, and then the 300 was in the 80s. But we had a 260 and we had a 240Z also. So I think maybe that's what you're talking about there. But your shops out there, the paint correction people at the detail shops, they should know, but you might have to get another layer clear shot on it. If it looks like that paint is that old, that it might be difficult to wet sand, buff, and polish it. All right. Because it could be very hard paint. And there are different types of paint corrections. You should subscribe to my body shop channel, Color Boss Custom Auto Body Shop on YouTube, and watch my videos. I talk a lot about paint correction and buffing and polishing. So, all right, we got another viewer here. It is Wolfie Wolf is up in the house. What is up, Wolfie Wolf? Yes, sir. Having a good summer here? Yes, I am. And Uno Sean says, thank you for that. And it is a 2020. Okay. 2020 370Z, the 50-year anniversary edition. I got you. You should be fine at a detail shop. They should know about that paint and ask them if they know the difference. And if they say they do, then you should be in good hands. All right. Let's jump on over. We got 8 concurrent viewers. I'll give you some more TA. About 10 more minutes here before I beat feet. Looking at KDA very briefly is an ugly chart. KDA has a positive crossover of the stochastic, but a very bearish looking MACD, which tells me that it's going to continue going south. We had a death cross way back when on KDA. 50 is way below the 200 EMA. So it's just getting ugly. I'm not buying any more KDA, but I do own an NFT thanks to my man Bones Bonneville up in Canada. The KDA miner, it's an NFT that gives you a share of the mining pool But thank goodness I had Bones to lead the way in telling me all about how that mining action works and how to claim your KDA tokens whenever you want to, as your NFT gives you a portion of the mining pool. So shout out to Bones Bonneville, who was a part of the Telegram group.
Yay!
Anyhow, back to the ugly KDA chart. Let's pop it on a week, and it's looking even worse. So looking on this 1 week chart, we're about to hit all-time lows, man. If it goes to 32 cents, I don't know what's going to happen. And it's hard to believe that this is the same coin that peaked out at 25 bucks. If this ever comes back to 25 bucks, I'm going to be a rich man. So what I'm praying for is that we hold solid at 32 cents at the rock bottom and that I continue to mine KDA tokens. And if we eclipse that previous all-time high, I'm selling and I'm making myself some money. All right, Flux is another good one. If you don't know about Flux, it's a very popular one to mine. It is looking nasty. It has violated the red dash line, not just the black dash line and the purple dash line, but the red dash line. That is significant. And if you watch my videos, you know what that means. So we might be at a stochastic bottom, but the MACD is looking rough. And on the 1 week chart, when we look at this here, man, I'm hoping it catches a break at 27 cents, because if it doesn't, we're coming down here to this big fat node at like 20 cents. And if it doesn't hold that, the next support is at 13 cents, which for me, I'll probably buy, because Flux is a great project. It's a rock solid project. That's not financial advice. Okay, let me see. I've got a couple others. ACH is one that doesn't get talked about, but I had like 9,000 ACH tokens, and I sold it for a 10x, a 5x, I think about a 5x. And then I'm going to buy it back. So I made like 400 bucks on it. So I'm going to take maybe 3 of that 400 and just buy it all back. But looking at this downtrend that is only getting worse on the 1 day chart, it's just ugly. Looking at the 1 week chart, we have violated the black dash line, and ACH could come down to the red dash line. If it does that again, man, I'm an ape. But 0.5 cent was where I really first discovered ACH. Good Lord. It's possible we could come all the way down to 0.008. It's possible, but look at the stochastic. It's still going lower, but it's positioned on 1 week. It's getting ready for the bull run. So now that we have found out that the black dash line is not the support for ACH, now we can wait or start to DCA here, and then I'm going to wait for that bullish run to happen. But you know, ACH is in cahoots with Visa. This is a payment. It's going to work as the substructure for running transactions for the Visa network. It's significant, and I don't know why it doesn't get talked about more, but I will be keeping my eyes on that. Let's do a couple more. The turd called Jasmy. I hold Jasmy. I'm thinking about buying more just for a gamble. It's on Coinbase, but it's looking nasty, and it's looking like it's going to go lower than where it is right now. We could go as far down as 0.002, and then at that point, you know, I might quintuple my bag if we can get this stochastic to bottom out here and unload it during the bull run. Another one that I'll show a 1 week chart of is Telcoin. Telcoin has violated the red dash line, and it's going lower. I started buying Telcoin, I don't even remember it, like 0.003, and then I sold after a 10x, and I started buying back at 1 cent, and it's doing a reverse 10x. But anyway, once it kind of finds its bottom, which could be at 0.0004, I'm just going to get a big fat nasty bag. It might stop here. It might stop the blood loss at 0.00077. Okay, that's where we see this previous little consolidation action from this massive bull flag here. All right, and if it does not hold that, then we could go to 00046 or 00034 or 00017, and worst of the worst is quadruple 09. All right, that's what's going to happen to Telcoin if it makes it. Hopefully it will survive the bear market. Now, looking at Graph, I'm waiting on Graph, okay, because it violated the black dash line with a vengeance. I have bought and sold graph so many times swing trading. The last time I, got a pile of graph was at 5 cents. I sold it 12 cents and watched it go all the way to 22 cents. I can't complain because I made money. So now that we have this nasty crossover on the stochastic, it's not even down here in the oversold zone yet. It's going to test the red dash line at 7 cents. If it does not hold that, we're going to go back to the all-time low at 5.5 cents. I'm going to start the DCA at the red dash line and hope for a bottom at 5.6 cents. Shiba Inu, which is trash, is going down lower. And I told you guys, you saw that video. And if you didn't, you need to go back and watch it. I did the math on this nonsense meme project that has Shibarium layer 2 solution. How many layer 2 solutions do we need? How many do we need? We don't need this. And it's stupid. You got to put all these stupid zeros in front of the price just to trick people into thinking, oh, it's so cheap, I can spend $10 and have millions of these things. Yeah, and you can watch your millions go straight down to the toilet. Okay? Here, I'm going to do something here. So first of all, it has completely imploded. There's your implosion sound. And you can go ahead and ride this thing down to the toilet if you want to, but I'm not going to be along that ride with you. And look at this. I drew the box here. I told y'all that if it failed this, we might bounce around here, and look what happened. It wicked below this, and so it's going to feel the bottom of it. It was support, now it's going to be resistance. This is going to cycle all the way back down. You're going to find these garbage can lows again. And it's just looking like a pump and dump now. It came out the box, dump, and then pump to the moon, all-time high. And then, so then you had the Shibarium news, which is this peak right here. And then once the news got old, what happened? What happened? As soon as the news got old, yeah. All right. So if you think you're getting rich off of Sheeb, I don't know. And, George, George. Hello, everybody. This is George. We're all George. We're going to make a lot of money on Shibarium because it's a new layer 2 and it's really looking good. What in God's name? George, I watch him every day and I love his live streams, but man, George, you must be smoking the crack pipe, dude. Sitting there plugging Sheeb. This is garbage. Where does that come from? I don't know. Somebody, you can explain to me why people like George are so bullish and how you have hundreds of thousands of followers and you're giving advice like that, talking about Shibarium. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's move it on along. Here's Anchor. I was buying Anchor back in the old days, man. I was in Anchor at 0.002 and I sold it at like 5 cents. And so if it can come back down, it's already hitting a critical point, but it's going to go lower. It's probably going to come down. It could be less than a cent. I might revisit it. Here's Gala Games, Garbage Gala. Garbage Gala. That sounded like a Trump troll. Garbage Gala Games, total trash, complete garbage. We're going to watch Gala Games go straight to the toilet, headed straight to the toilet. Gala might make it. I don't know, but I'm not buying it. It's too close to the all-time bottom, 1.5 cents. If it violates 1.5 cents, goodbye. It's in reverse price discovery. I don't know what to tell you there. You can gamble on it if you want. I'm not. Ethereum name service doesn't have a good chart, and it's going to go lower, but it's Ethereum, and I own like 5 or 10. If it can do reverse price discovery and I can get it for $5 each, I'll buy some more. We have Filecoin to look at here is at $3.47. Once this full cycle goes down here and it goes into the toilet and revisits this low of $2.37, I'm going to buy more. Filecoin looks like dadgum, what is it? The world computer thing? No, not that world. What is it? Not WorldCoin, which is completely dystopian. But it looks like a mega pump and dump since the first big run where it was almost $100. But Filecoin is a good project. So if it can get down here to $1 or so, I'll load it up and then we'll sell it on the next bull run. Key, Self Key, which is a legit project. I've made a lot of money on Self Key. In fact, I made like $2,500 riding Self Key from 0.002 all the way up to these highs way up here, like at 1.5 cents. I sold at the peak, and then I threw that into OMI, and OMI went from, I bought $2,200 worth of OMI token, and that ran to 13.5 cents. No, it ran to 1 cent, and I had $13,000 worth. And then since then, OMI has gone straight to the crapper. However, Self-Key is a good project, and now that it's done this bouncing around like Bitcoin did during the capitulation of 2018? Yeah, 2018. It did that same movement where it bounce, fall off the cliff. It's going to go lower, negative or nasty stochastic here. It's going to cycle down. This is not done here on the MACD. But what I'm looking for, and I need to draw it on here. Let's go ahead and get us a rectangle because there's a zone. Now that we have violated this point here, I'm going to tell you where we need to keep our eyes on it. This is going to be your zone of significance. We already have this point here that we dipped down to, so this is going to bring back into play this area right there. So this is, dang it, deleted it. This is what, let me draw this back on the screen for you. Here's the zone, what I'm going to be looking for. And it could violate this at the bottom, but this is going to be where I start to DCA, okay? I'm going to pop this on here. All right, there we go. So if we can come down into this zone where it's like 0.003, it might go back to my first entry level price. It's not even on the chart. I think it was 002 when I first bought in, so it's not even on the chart. But if we do head that low, I'm going to ape back into Self-Key. It's very volatile. I love this movement, and when it pops, it pops. Okay, H-bar at 5 cents. Looking pretty healthy, but we're at a peak here. It's probably going to jump back into this channel, and we're going to have 2.9 cents as a base level. It should hold that. CRO is at 5 cents. I sold out after we violated the red dash line at 11.8 cents, and I ain't been back in it since then. Good project, though. Once it hits 4 cents and comes down here, I might revisit. We'll just have to see about that. VeChain, I ain't into this too much more. Chinese project. Once this stochastic cycle completes, VeChain is going to come back down to like 0.007, maybe 0.005. But it had a nice run. It peaked out at 24 cents. So the people who got to enjoy that bull run, they made a bag, man. They made a big bag. Wow. Okay. Let's see here. We have lots of action going on in the chat. So let's read some of the comments and do some sound effects for these great comments. Butte Andy says, yo, Wolfie Wolf. Shout out to Wolfie Wolf. And we have Malice. Thank you so much, Malice, for the super thanks of $5. Not only am I giving you the round of applause now, I'm going to shout you out in the next video that I do that is not the live stream version, but the Bitcoin update. He says, can't attend to watch the stream, but just wanted to support you, brother. Already streaming for an hour. My man. Have I been streaming that long? I didn't even realize that. We have 13 concurrent viewers and likes are looking pretty good. We are at 15 likes. And then we have the biggest bro with a super thanks of $10. Man, oh man, that warms my heart. Thank you, the biggest bro. He says, thank you, Mr. Flowers, for your videos. Longtime watcher and fan. Yes, sir, man. We take it back, my brother. You are a true legend. Much love. And right back to you. Much love right back to you. Thank you for that. I super duper appreciate the super thanks, the super chat, man. I always say on the video reports that the donations really help because you wouldn't believe my cable TV and cable internet. I only watch like one channel, ESPN. I watch football, and then I watch the Magnolia Network because I'm into house flipping. I'm doing a house restoration project right now. And I watch Magnolia Network. And then I also have my high-speed internet so I can do these live streams. And my cable bill is $380 a month. And I remember back in the days when you could get, the first time I had a cable modem, I was paying like 40, 50 bucks a month. And I thought that was expensive. And then YouTube Premium is $11.99. My subscription for the sound effects and for the music is like another 30 something a month. And then the website that I post all of the updates for is like $29 a month for the Squarespace. And then we've got, I can't even remember, like the Trading View. Trading View is approximately 15 bucks a month to have that. Well, anyway, it costs a lot. So that's why I thank you for that. And we have my man, my deputy sheriff from my group, Sharif, is in the house, Dr. Strange.
Yay!
Yes, sir. And man, I tell you what, this brother's got my back.
Woo!
And whenever we get around to it, what I'm going to do for the VV people, me and Doc Strange, and we're going to have to get the boys in from Canada, Strange, let's go ahead. I missed a text from them some time ago. We'll get that collab going on and do it very soon here, and grab superstars, maybe me, you superstars, and maybe we could get my boy Smurf, and maybe even Chris. We'll see if Chris can jump in. But anyway, just wanted to announce Dr. Strange, and everyone needs to sub to Dr. Strange's channel. Do that right now if you are not subbed to his channel. Let me look back and make sure I don't have anything left here on the charts. I'll do 2 or 3 more rapid fire, and then I'm going to call it. So we can put Veracity up here, which is looking nasty. It's probably going to test the all-time low of 0.002. We have Uniswap on the board. I need to extend the red dash line because it is now in play with this nasty crossover here. Uniswap is going to test that $3.76. I got a bag of Uniswap, and if it does not hold that, I'm going to tell you where it's going to go. It's going to go right here to that orange line. I'm telling you now, $2.47. Mark my words. Come back to this video, and you're going to say, "Yep, Crypto Pro called it." Here, remember Xcur? I call it excrement because I bought this back in the day when it was like $1. Okay. And after I jumped in at $1, it did this, and then it went straight to the freaking toilet as soon as I jumped in, and it ain't going no. It's just making a swirly right now, but that was a NFT project. I'm just telling you about that because I'm taking my lumps on it. Now, stupid Doge, which is garbage. Wow, look at this. Since when does that dog come out? Did y'all see that? The dog of Doge just... That's interesting. Is it because I said Doge or what happened? That's bizarre. Well, anyway, Doge is going to lose it, and it's going to bottom out at 3.9 cents. And if it loses 3.9 cents, you better say bye-bye because it's going to 0.009. I wouldn't touch Doge with a 10-foot pole. Okay, one more. I'm going to give you my dark horse play, Polylastic. Polylastic, if it survives, and it looks like it's going to go lower than where it is at 0.40 and 21, this is the dark horse 10x to 100x long shot if it survives the bear market. If it survives, I'm a rich man. I'm piling up, and I've been DCing ever since point a bunch of zeros 3. I got like 6 million of it, and I might end up with maybe 20 million by the time I'm done because of this rounding of this stochastic. It might jump back down, but on the next cycle up, if it even just does what this previous thing did here, that was a 10x. From here to where it is right now, that was a 10x during the bear market. The bull market could pull off a 100x. That's the dark horse. Okay, let's get back to the stream. So, B-Pro, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Malice, I will include B-Pro. I had BPro, and when I first discovered BPro was in 2018, and I had bought it at 0.003 cents and watched it go all the way up. It is on this research group list because it's part of my research group on Telegram. The all-time high for BPro was 4.4 cents. And so I watched it go from it was actually 0.0003. I knew about BPro at 0.0003. This is where I first discovered it back here in 2018. It's not even on the chart here. I knew about BPro before that. Okay, so I had bought in and sold out for a profit, but that was a 100x from here to that high point. Okay, so looking at BPro, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen here. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And if it survives, it's going to be a good thing to play. Right now, we're way below the red dash line. And, okay, stochastic is looking like it's going to continue to go south. It's going to head lower. We have a fat, nasty red candle forming. We're flatlining on the oscillators here for the MACD. And we have a slight tick of a red, not a candle, bar on the histogram. So this was the big shot fired, and everything else is a ripple of the waves. So we're getting ready for the next one. So we want to be ready for the big shot fired, which is going to be the bull run. How far down can it go? Well, I'm going to tell you right now how far down this sucker can go, and I'm going to put some lines up here to prove it. So we've already, we need to put a line here because we have violated this support. Here's a support, long time support right there. Okay, that sucker's gone. I'm gonna make that red because that's bad news. Okay, so now that we have violated that, we're gonna go further south, and I'm gonna tell you where it could possibly go. If we're lucky, this is gonna be hopefully the point that it saves itself. I'm gonna make this a blue line of salvation. Okay, and then that price at the blue line of salvation is 0.0003.6, or rather 3036. So that means that it could come back to that point at which I first discovered it, which says that it's a 100x long shot dark horse, just like polylastic. It can happen. Okay, so I'll probably have to keep my eyes on BPro, and maybe, I'll shoot a video and give you reports on all of the dark horse long shots like BPro and polylastic. Okay, BPro or B broke. Yes, sir. VV Moon Boy is in the heezy. He up in the house. Round of applause. Round of supplies. What am I thinking? Round of applause. Round of supplies. Got school on my mind. My wife has got back to school parent-teacher conference night or visitation of the school registration. So I was looking at all the school supplies in her room. So that's where my mind is. Okay, so that is all we have for this broadcast. This has been Carlton Flowers, your Crypto Pro. Yay! That was a delayed yeah. Let's try that again. Carlton Flowers, your Crypto Pro. Yay! That was better. And I definitely want to do this on a weekly basis. If we can keep this popping, maybe I'll do it twice a week. That would be totally fun. So if you guys want more of this, let me know. Post your comments and then spread the word. And maybe we'll see if we can get us some steam going and build a community like George, this is George, and all the crazy things he does. And then on the next video, sneak preview, I'm going to let you know what it is that I cannot stand about BitBoy Crypto's recent, I guess it happened several months ago, but there's something that I cannot stand about his videos. I still watch them. I'm going to give you a full view of BitBoy, who has gone from con artist to trying to be savior of the world and busting out other con artists. But there's something he's done to his channel that really rubs me the wrong way. I love Around the Blockchain. I do watch him, but I'll tell you about that in this video coming up. We're going to talk about BitBoy and talk about some of the other big mouths on YouTube who talk crypto and talk crazy stuff. So that is all we got today. I am so glad that you all were here. We have 10 people that are on the stream. We had 99 views. We had 21 likes. And man, y'all helped me to raise $15 to defray these crazy costs. So that's all I've got for now. Wait a minute. That's all I've got for now, but I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And if you would like to help to defray those costs the next time I produce a channel, you can do so with the giving of a super thanks. And I will be shouting out the biggest bro and my brother Malice on the next video. So that's all we got. Thanks for joining in. I'm over and out. See ya.